home. You know, as a hunter, the first time I ever saw a bongo, I'll never forget it. I was looking at a book, and there's this picture of this impossibly beautiful animal, and I'm thinking to myself, this is a real creature? I mean, look at the blaze orange almost coat, white candy stripes down, and beautiful spiral horns. Just this amazing beast. If you adhere to the belief that a great game animal is determined by 1, the toughness of a hunt for it, and 2, the sheer magnificence of the beast, it's hard not to put a chop your way through the jungle for 8 hours a day safari to get a bongo at the top of the list.
You see, this is what we call the young forest. You see the only small trees, very thick.
Yeah.
That's a place where bongo like going to eat.
This is territory very few Americans come. It's much, much tougher hunting here than it is in the rest of Africa. I would put this up as really one of the toughest hunts I've done in the world, including the mountain game, just because you're in a brutal environment of this jungle. Everything's got thorns, the ants bite. I mean, it's you're chopping your way through with machetes, just trying to get through this amazingly thick environment. And so it's just a very, very unique hunt. The vine-choked jungles of Cameroon might seem as foreign to the rest of Africa as they do to most Westerners.
See a nose sticking out there.
Unique species like the red river hog, forest elephant, and buffalo, native Lord Derby eland, and roan antelope make Cameroon an exotic destination for only the most daring of hunters.
Is that bongo or buffalo there?
That's a bongo. This is a very nice trace of bongo. That's the one we're looking for. But it's not from this night.
When we leave the camp in the morning, we go check as much as salmon as possible, or maybe we're gonna have a walk in the forest to see if we can come across some nice tracks, which is actually kind of the most challenging part of the hunt.
Old track of bongo. It's a nice one.
Bongo hunting is reminiscent of buffalo hunting in that each morning starts with a tour of water holes and salt pans, where hopefully ample rain has kept the ground soft and you're able to find fresh and big tracks to follow. Find a new track and the pursuit is on, and there is palpable electricity in the hunting party at that moment.
Nice pan. Big tracks.
Fresh tracks, nice bongo.
This is it. We finally found a bull. Very fresh track. Could be that same bull we found down there. It's just a fresher track.
We'll get the dogs. Everybody, get ready for the hunt.
Let's do it.
There are 2 typical ways to hunt bongo. Using a machan or high stand, overlooking salt pans frequented by the beast was common in the neighboring nation of the Central African Republic, and very attractive to many hunters because, well, it's a hell of a lot easier than slogging through the jungle. The other is, of course, tracking your bongo through the muck and mire of one of the world's thickest forests.
When do you let the dogs go?
When we're pretty sure it's quite close. We have to be sure. He gets excited just because he knows we're gonna hunt bongo. And we got the smell. Doesn't mean that it's close.
Yeah.
The way we're hunting with those dogs, what we don't want them, we want them to stay very nice and quiet while we are doing the tracking of the bongo. Hey. Shh. Actually, that's why the local kind of dog is doing well, because they've got quite a poor sense of smell. They're only hunting when they view some animal or when they hear something in the forest.
While we leave the bongo is... Hey, shh. The bongo is quite close because those dogs, you know, they're getting very excited. Look at Tubio. He doesn't have a good sense of smell. Shh.
This ground is soft.
Yeah, it is.
Should be good tracking.
Yeah.
You're making good progress on it.
Successful tracking in the forest requires consistent rain, but it's not so much about the ground as it is the leaf litter. Without rains that soak the leaves to the dirt, the tracks are obscured by the magnolia-sized leaves that can be a foot thick in places.
Because Tubio, the big one, has a short range of action. I'm gonna release him. I don't want to let go. Paco's smell is gonna go far away.
You can tell by the way he's acting, he's got scent. And
In years gone by, before they allowed hunting with dogs here, what would happen is they would track with no dogs, and then they would see a patch of orange at the end of the track. They would assume by virtue of the size of the track that it's a bull, but in many cases it wasn't. So a lot of females got shot that way. So bringing dogs into the equation really helped kind of qualify the hunt, if you will, and make sure the bulls are taken and not the females. As Africa goes, the jungle of Cameroon is an anomaly in many ways. The obvious difference in climate and vegetation is only part of the separation from the rest of the continent. The other is the nearly complete lack of predators. No lions, leopards, hyenas, or even jackals. Part of that is owing to the very modest amount of game here. Until you see a bongo in the flesh, they seem almost theoretical as a unicorn, as if you're chasing little more than a rumor.
It's a big track. It's a very big track.
So this is exactly what we've been looking for days now. This is a very fresh track of bongo, a very nice size, you see. It's bigger than my hand, so it's definitely a big male. Well, that's now that the hunt is beginning.
And this is an area you haven't been in for a long time.
No, that's the thing, you know. We've been looking for those tracks for days in the places we were expecting the bongos. But this morning, as we saw, they were not coming at the places we were expecting them. And we decided to come where they were not expecting us.
Matthew just said, look, I haven't been in this area since February. It's been 5 months, but I know it's an area that used to hold bongo, but we just haven't been checking it regularly. Let's try that. It's the Hail Mary play. So we get in there, and right away, instantly, as soon as we get to the salt pan in the forest, there's great track. There's beautiful, big bull tracks in there.
And talk about fresh, that's really fresh. He's gotta be right here. Let's find him.
It's confusing because it seems that there's another bongo going down. It's definitely not from the same one. It's much more smaller than the one.
Uh-oh, not on the right track.
We were on this track maybe a half hour, 35, 40 minutes, and then all of a sudden they lose it. They say, wait a minute, we're not on the same track that we were. We can now tell this isn't as fresh as the one that we picked up a while ago. So we're like, oh man.
It's tough, man. There's some other bongo activity and they're fairly fresh. So they crossed over another track that's a little bit older. It could be the same bull just a day earlier. So now we're gonna have to backtrack and see if we can pick up the fresh track again. It's tough.
We were kind of being desperate, you know. I told the tracker, okay, let's not give up on this hunt. Let's calm down. Let's walk around the salt pond. We're gonna find this track. We're gonna find the way the bongo way out of the salt pond, and we're gonna track him down.
Guys, this is bed right here. So it went from losing the track, having to backtrack all the way to the salt pan. There's a lot of bongo in this area, amazing, and some big bongo as well, but it was the fresh track coming out of that salt pan area that we had to find. It took us an hour and a half to find it, but this appears to be that track.
Suddenly, I'm just walking behind Matthew and the two trackers and the dogs. The two dogs on leashes start getting antsy and start lunging forward.
Lâche ça, lâche ça, lâche ça, lâche, lâche, lâche. Lâche, lâche. Sauve-le, sauve-le.
And what you've got is this incredible possibility of echoing dog barks in the forest.
It's a good sound, huh? Dog's just ahead, man. Hopefully our bongo's right there.
You're just busting through the forest, branches hitting you, whatever, tripping, ants biting you, all that kind of stuff didn't matter. You're not thinking about that. You're thinking about how do I get up there, get on this animal, this long two-safari journey to finally get to the beast.
We've been running for quite a while, I think maybe half an hour. Huh? That was quite a long way, which is very exciting. And obviously then at this time of the hunt, you've got the music from the dogs, you know, barking at the bongo. So it's kind of a magical moment, you know, it's very special.
You're right there, man. There, that's a bull.
Okay, that's a male. It's a male. You can shoot it. Do you see it? Yeah. Do you see it?
You turn around and you look through the forest and you see this unbelievable orange, amazing vision of a beast. It just takes your breath away.
See. Okay, that's a nice man. We can take him. Go.
Nice. Wait, no, don't shoot again.
Okay.
That's a good shot, it's fine.
Allez, chien, chope-le.
He's getting wobbly.
Viens, les chiens. Allez.
Got a freaking bongo, man.
Allez, chope-le.
He's down.
Chope-le.
That's a nice bull, too. It's that instant of the encounter that is so often what lives with you as a hunter, I think, much more than anything else. So when you look at the trophy on your wall, it's that instant. It's those people you were with. It was the sounds of the dogs, the looks in the eyes of the trackers, the excitement of the whole gang when we finally got the animal. I mean, that's what comes back to you. God, what a magnificent beast. Just look at that. What a trophy. I mean, beautiful. The way it comes out, curves out, ivory.
Chris was one of the best hunters I've ever had because he never give up. Like, he know he wants his bongo and he know he's gonna get it, and he will do anything he has to do to get to his bongo.
Tell you what, 2 years in the making, buddy. 2 years in the making. I thought after last year, man, it's gonna be a heck of a trip to come all the way back. I mean, this is a long way to come. It's a little out of the way to get to Cameroon. Such a great animal, too. I mean, it's not just a good, average bongo, which I would have been completely happy with, but to finally make this kind of effort and then see this beast, I mean, just a fantastic specimen. I mean, that's as nice as they get. He comes up and he turns. Just a beautiful animal all the way around. Few trophies will mean more to me than this bongo, the beast that lured me across the Atlantic twice. Through it all, Cameroon has become as much a part of me as any place I've hunted on Earth. This nation, if nothing else, is unforgettable.